This book, Sailing on the Edge by Peter Keating, is not only the story of one man's journey in a solo sail across the Atlantic against almost impossible odds, but it's peopled with the memories of his friends, colleagues, the interesting relationship he has with Henry, his automatic steering gear, and a ghost. In the introduction, he says, "This is not my journey alone, but the journey of all of us when we go out there on the edge." Which reminds me, I must do my tax. The wind finally eases around midnight and drops to 35 knots, and I genuinely feel that it's all over. The seas grudgingly go down, almost as if they can sense the change, and I engage Henry to see if he can steer bare-poled, and he does, as I push his steering protocols to the highest settings. I need a sleep, to warm up, to escape from the maelstrom, and the bunk is my best choice, way beyond keeping watch or making miles. I watch Henry for 10 minutes and he seems okay as I talk to him quietly, reminding him of my need for rest. I take a quick look around and dive below, jamming the hatch tight and taking off my wet weather gear. I dress myself in all the warm clothes I have and then wriggle the wet weather gear back on over the top and then fall into the bunk with feelings of pure relief. I know I'll get hot and sweaty, but that is far better than being cold. In fact, I have a deep aversion to being cold, with my worst fear being slowly freezing to death, with the life force being sucked out of me as I go rigid or hang on to what little heat there is left inside. That's my hell, way beyond falling out of a plane or crashing in a car, being shot, or even being swamped by a monster wave. I lay down, dozing for half an hour, trying to shut out the noise, but I can't sleep as I feel the winds are increasing again, and our motion is either getting wilder or I'm beginning to get more afraid, just hiding below. I can hear Henry battling along, and his talk becomes my mantra as I will him lots of power and future sunny days. I sing out to him to keep things together up there, and then laugh at my stupidity. The truth is that at this stage of the blow, there's no way I'm game to swear at Henry or even offer criticism in case he goes on strike and I'm forced to confront these angry seas again. Then my mind hits me with the dark thought that a rogue wave will come roaring through and bury me under a crushed boat, and the damned thought gets bigger and more real the harder I try to avoid it. I imagine saying goodbye to all those I love without them knowing how I died. I imagine there will be no wreckage as everything will disintegrate as the boat goes down with me, hopefully without too much pain and struggle. I'm definitely living on the edge, where the quiet pool of life seems a long way away, and all is movement and change, and the gamble of living on in uncertainty pounds loudly at my door. I'm confronted by the risk-taker's mantra: if you're not living on the edge, then you're taking up too much room. While at this moment in time, I prefer to be sitting in a warm, cosy movie theatre, enjoying someone else's struggle street. I know some of us live long lives and some short ones, and usually there's no choice in the matter. A base jumping friend told me he'd lost 3 friends in the previous year, and still he wasn't ready to give up, knowing that each time he dived free may be his last. After 500 base jumps, his numbers were about up. In these circumstances, I'm better off if I just lie in my bunk and let life take its course. There is no easy death when we cling desperately to life, making deals with the higher powers that if we are allowed to live, we'll agree to work for charities for the rest of our days. That's being a beggar on the altar of discontent and turning ourselves into a lie. The acceptance of our passing with honour and integrity, with love for others and dignity, is the best I can imagine that we can do for ourselves. And strangely, it's a satisfying thought in all this craziness. I make a pledge, though, that if I get through this blow, I'm going to choose all the things that I can about my final demise. I'm going to choose the music, write the words, organise the entertainment, and hopefully have a party beforehand that'll send me off as I want. It'll be my own wake, where I'll sit with friends, have them exchange tales, good and bad, share some wonderful bonhomie and a few drinks. That way, I'll get to enjoy it all. My will be set in place, all my goodbyes written, and if I can choose the time of my passing, all the better, hopefully with a glass of rum and some Irish music belting out. Life, surely, is not about arriving at death in good health, well preserved with great blood pressure and fine lungs, but rather sliding in sideways, totally used up with a big smile and a happy wave, saying, WTF was that all about?